Can love survive when trust is broken? How do you forgive the unforgivable? Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a couple named Mark and Emma. They were known for their deep love and unbreakable bond. From high school sweethearts to married couple, their journey was an inspiration to many. However, their story took an unexpected turn when trust was shattered. Mark was a dedicated doctor, spending long hours at the hospital. Emma, an artist, worked from home, painting beautiful landscapes and portraits. Their lives seemed perfect, but behind closed doors, things were far from ideal. One day, Mark received an anonymous message on his phone. It contained photos of Emma with another man, laughing and looking far too comfortable. Mark's heart sank. He felt betrayed, confused, and angry. Could his beloved wife be having an affair? He confronted Emma that evening, his voice trembling with emotion. "Who is he, Emma? What's going on?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Mark, it's not what you think. That's David, a friend from my art class. We were just working on a project together." Mark wanted to believe her, but the seeds of doubt had already been planted. He started to notice more text messages and late-night phone calls. His suspicions grew, and so did the distance between them. In an attempt to uncover the truth, Mark hired a private investigator. Days later, the investigator reported back, saying he had seen Emma and David together at a coffee shop, looking very intimate. Mark's heart broke all over again. He decided to confront David directly. "Stay away from my wife," Mark demanded, his anger barely contained. David looked confused but remained calm. "Mark, you've got it all wrong. Emma and I are just friends. There's nothing more to it." Mark wasn't convinced. His paranoia consumed him, and he started to track Emma's every move. This obsession pushed them further apart, and Emma could feel the weight of his distrust bearing down on her. One night, during a heated argument, Emma cried out, "You don't trust me anymore, Mark. This isn't love. This is torture." Mark realized he had to make a choice. Either let go of his paranoia and trust Emma, or lose her forever. But just as he was about to apologize and make amends, he discovered something that turned his world upside down. Hidden in Emma's drawer was a letter from David. It read, "Dearest Emma, our time together has been the best part of my life. I can't wait for us to start our new life together." Mark felt his heart shatter into a million pieces. The betrayal was real. Emma had been planning to leave him. He confronted her with the letter, his eyes filled with anguish. Emma broke down. "Mark, I can explain. David is just a friend, but he has feelings for me. I didn't know how to tell you." Mark couldn't believe her. The trust was gone, and so was the love that once held them together. In the end, Mark decided to move out. The pain was too great, and the trust was beyond repair. As he packed his bags, Emma watched, tears streaming down her face. She realized too late that her secrets had destroyed their once beautiful love. Mark found himself in a small apartment, alone and broken. Days turned into weeks, and he tried to focus on his work, but the pain of betrayal lingered. He received several messages from Emma, begging for forgiveness, but he couldn't bring himself to reply. One day, Mark received a call from his private investigator. "Mark, you need to see this. It's about David." Confused, Mark agreed to meet. The investigator handed him a folder filled with photos and documents. To Mark's shock, he discovered that David had a history of manipulating women and breaking up marriages. He was a con artist, and Emma had been his latest target. Mark felt a mix of relief and anger. Emma wasn't having an affair, she had been deceived. He decided to confront David one last time. When Mark arrived at David's studio, he found Emma there confronting David herself. "How could you do this to me?" she demanded. You've ruined my marriage." David smirked. "You were easy to fool, Emma, but it's over now." Mark stepped forward, his anger palpable. "It's over for you, David. I know everything." Within minutes, the police arrived, and David was arrested for fraud and manipulation. Emma turned to Mark, her eyes filled with regret and hope. "Mark, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen." Mark took a deep breath. "Emma, we both made mistakes. Let's take this slow and see if we can rebuild what we lost." They decided to seek counseling to repair their broken trust. It was a long and difficult journey, filled with tears, anger, and doubt. But as they worked through their pain, they began to find glimmers of the love they once had. The counseling sessions were tough. The therapist, Dr. Jenkins, pushed them to confront their deepest fears and resentments. Mark had to learn to let go of his anger and paranoia, while Emma had to be honest about her emotional distance and secrecy. Dr. Jenkins gave them exercises to rebuild their trust. One of the most challenging was to spend an hour each day sharing their thoughts and feelings without interruption. It was awkward at first, but gradually, they began to understand each other better. During one session, Emma confessed, "I didn't realize how lonely I felt with you being at the hospital all the time. I turned to David for companionship, but I never intended for it to go this far." Mark listened, his heart heavy with regret. "I'm sorry, Emma. I should have been there for you more. I let my work come between us." Their breakthrough came during a weekend retreat organized by Dr. Jenkins. In a secluded cabin, away from the distractions of daily life, they found themselves reconnecting. They talked about their dreams, laughed about old memories, and slowly began to trust each other again. One night, as they sat by the fire, Mark took Emma's hand. "I want us to make a new start, to leave the past behind and build a stronger future together." Emma nodded, tears in her eyes. "I want that too, Mark. I'm committed to making this work." With renewed determination, they returned home and continued their counseling. Mark made a conscious effort to balance his work and personal life. He started coming home earlier and spending more time with Emma. They even took up painting together, turning their living room into an art studio. Emma, on her part, worked on being more transparent. She shared her thoughts and feelings openly, without fear of judgment. She also cut all ties with David, reassuring Mark of her commitment to their marriage. As the months passed, their relationship slowly healed. The wounds of betrayal began to fade, replaced by a deeper, more mature love. They learned to communicate better, to support each other, and most importantly, to trust again. Just as they felt they had overcome their biggest hurdle, an unexpected twist occurred. Mark received a call from the hospital, a new job offer in a prestigious research facility across the country. It was his dream job, but it meant moving away from their support system and starting over. Mark was torn. He didn't want to jeopardize the progress they had made, but the opportunity was too good to pass up. He discussed it with Emma, expecting her to be against the idea. To his surprise, Emma said, "Mark, this is your dream. We've been through so much together. If we can survive that, we can survive anything. Let's take this chance to start fresh." Mark was overwhelmed with emotion. "Are you sure, Emma? I don't want to put any more pressure on our relationship." Emma smiled. "We're stronger now, Mark. We can do this together." And so they packed up their lives and moved to the new city. The transition wasn't easy, but they supported each other through the challenges. Mark thrived in his new job, and Emma found inspiration in the new environment, creating some of her best artwork. Their relationship continued to grow, rooted in the trust and love they had rebuilt. They made new memories, explored their new city, and even adopted a dog named Max. One evening, as they walked through a park hand in hand, Emma paused. "Remember when we thought we couldn't get through this? Look at us now. We're stronger than ever." Mark smiled, pulling her into a tight embrace. "I'm so grateful for you, Emma, for your forgiveness, your strength, and your love." Emma looked up at him, her eyes shining with happiness. "And I'm grateful for you, Mark, for never giving up on us." As they stood there, under the starry sky, they knew that whatever challenges came their way, they would face them together. Their love had been tested and had emerged stronger, a testament to their resilience and commitment. Can love truly conquer all? What would you do to rebuild trust after a betrayal? And so, Mark and Emma's story continued, a beautiful journey of love, trust, and unexpected twists. They had proven that even in the darkest times, love could find a way to shine brightly once more.